Boomba Clan fame, you also know him as Peter Boomba. Sindio Peter?
Yeah, Peter Boomba.
Peter Boomba.
Yeah.
Right,
Boomba.
so Peter, we were speaking about now the 15 years of addiction, 5 years sobriety.
Yeah.
And you said you reached to a point where you were at your lowest, like the low of the lowest, but you didn't stop.
Yeah.
You know, your friends died, people that you were hanging with or even in the addiction with, but that didn't stop you.
Yeah.
So how did you eventually say, I need to change my life?
I think it's a rock bottom. I think I had reached rock bottom so many times, but you know, rock bottom for people is different.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to change and any alcohol, because I wasn't getting along with everyone, with family, also myself also, and the inner demons were killing me. Yeah. So I made a promise to myself, yeah, on 2020 now, 2020, that was, yeah, beginning of the year, that this year now I won't be needing alcohol. I want to do my birthday is usually the beginning of the year, so I said that I'm going to gift myself, yeah, and I'm not going to take alcohol for my birthday, because all the birthdays were like people buying for me alcohol, and
yeah.
So after some time, I didn't take alcohol that time, because that December, the previous one, 2019, I couldn't remember anything that happened, you know, from like the 20th of December to 31st, literally. People are like, you know, we met, and I was like, how to look happy, and so I said, no, let me just gift myself. My birthday is on February. So I stayed for a week without, a day or two. I stayed for a week without, because I started with a day, then a week. Yeah, I'm like, hey, come back, I can do a week. Then I said, because I've done a week, let me try 2 weeks. Yeah. Then I did 2 weeks. Then another time, when I was like, the urge was coming, you know, it's always, when you're an addict, it's very, so when you come it's like the devil keeps calling you, you know? Yeah. Then all of a sudden, when I was thinking, no, hey, me, hapa start boa. Kidogo, the country was shut down. COVID came. So like when COVID came, I was like, you know, like people like how, okay, COVID took a lot of lives, but for me, I say it saved my life. It saved my life. Because when COVID came, now the bars were shut down, and I would see people on the television being caned and you know, because of curfew hours. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, hata mtu mkubwa hivi anapigwa. You know, why should you cane like an old man like that for drinking his money? And I'm like, hey, we had stooped this low. And I'm like, no, let me wait until COVID gets finished, because I don't want to get canned and you know, see like people running around because of curfew. And so I did COVID end, because I thought COVID was like for a month or so, like 2 or 3 weeks. COVID did not end. Actually, on the contrary, after COVID, I stayed for like 1.5 years without alcohol. Then I fell sick and had an open heart surgery.
Was it due to the addiction?
It wasn't due to the addiction, unfortunately.
Fortunately,
yeah. And unfortunately, so many people thought it was due to the addiction.
Oh, I see, okay.
But I think if I was still addicted, I would have thought it was a hangover, and I would have drunk again. I wouldn't be alive. Wow. Cause there was no oxygen in my body. I was like few minutes away from a coma when I arrived in the hospital. Wow. So like after also that like the life-changing surgery also, I told myself, no, this thing, I'm not going back again. Yeah. So so many people by there, because it was during COVID times, and at that time people were not going to work. People were at home, and you know, it's an expensive affair. You know, surgery is not a cheap, and the cheaper option was like going to India. Like 1,000 people were dying in a day, so that was not an option. So we had to open a WhatsApp group for people like family, those people who could probably dig in something. And it was so, people came through, people really came through, because we like over-exceeded what we were expecting. But there were still some people who were so skeptical, asking, hey, you know, is it the alcohol that... But it wasn't the alcohol actually. It was like a tooth infection. It was a rheumatic heart disease. Wow. Yeah.
So was it something genetic that you found was in your family?
Yes, we have a problem with heart. But it's not genetic. It is rheumatic. My grandfather had a heart issue, but I don't know whether it has something to do with it, because mine came from a tooth infection. Yeah. And you know, this tooth infection and throat infections also, they are very serious when you ignore them and you don't treat them. So it went at like it went and the infection goes and settles like in the heart. So it starts eating away the valves kidogo kidogo. So by the time I was being taken, actually I was taken to the ICU, for COVID ICU. I said for 3 on KU hospital, yeah. I said for 3 or 4 nights before they discovered my I wasn't COVID positive. So
it was literally something.
Yeah, so people are like, hey, what happened to this? This guy is COVID negative, so what's the problem? So that's when they did an echo. It's called an echocardiogram. So like they realized, hey, Ujama, he needs a surgery like as soon as possible.
I see.
So yeah, so that also that was a phase in my life that also I think also it shaped who I am right now. And my 5 years of, so when you know, I was like, hey, Sasa, I've left alcohol, God, now why are you now punishing me again? You know, if it was alcohol, why wouldn't you have like punished me? But I'm like, but God, I think he waited for me to stop alcohol and for me to go through that life changing, because it would have been worse. We would have been speaking another story right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the intergenerational trauma that also comes with substance abuse.
Yeah.
You know, actually, any abuse, even, you know, every abuse is unfortunate, but even rape, you know, can be intergenerational.
Yes.
And the like, because you find it running in your family and you don't know why it's happening. And then you see that maybe a 4th generation removed, someone was going through it, you know. So was there something like that in your family?
I wouldn't say those. I wouldn't say as such, but you see, people also how they view something like a loss, or it's different. Because I usually say, you know, like, is it rich kid or poor dad? This verb of these people were raised up by a dad who was drinking alcohol. Then there's this child who doesn't drink because of the dad, and there's this one who drinks so much because of the dad. So it also narrows down to somebody personally. Like for me, I lost my dad when I was 3 years, and my bro was a few months old, and my sister was 5 years. So so many people could say it's like lack of a father figure or something. You know, that one can. But I've always had like father figures in my life. I had uncles who are present, but I won't rule out, because also our family, we have like those like in our family. I know there are people who, when I speak for many people, when you have that gene for so it does affect, so you have to be more careful when you see like even for me, like my let's say my son or my children will have to be more careful, because they're more susceptible to ukianza, it's going to be hard for you. So you'd rather not start.
I see.
Yeah.
Now let's take a look at when you met other creatives. And you started seeing, okay, there's a way out. There's a way you can actually just improve yourself. And you did a podcast, The Mindful Sip, where now they narrate their stories and everything. But what's the most common thing in their stories?
The denominator.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I have a podcast called The Mindful Sip. Mindful Sip is on YouTube, so you can tune in and check it. I try to talk to the creatives, because I think I feel like I'd fail other creatives, this like upcoming ones, to see them suffering or going through whatever I went through, with no one or no place to talk to or to air whatever they're feeling. So there's a group we have that's called C12. Usually that's for creatives and other people who are in drugs and substance, who have healed, and the ones who are making an effort to heal. So there we met so many creatives. The group that we have with Kinaboni, Kina Kiongo, Kalamashaka, Jimwat. So that's where the idea of Mindful Sip came up. I've always dreamt of having a podcast, but you see now, okay, an alcoholic is somebody who has so many dreams. Somebody who kama pia mtu ajaba, unasikia some stories ajaba. So there are those ones of building castles in the air, but they never happen.
But and they're real.
They're real. You have so many, because like this hosting a podcast was my dream, like ever since even when I cleared high school. But you know, I would just speak about it and take another sip. You know, like, hey, hiyo siku ikifika mazee, this guy encourage you, utakuwa mbele, and it's like a vicious circle. You go back to the same thing tomorrow, and so it wouldn't have happened had I not stopped taking alcohol. Yeah, so this idea came when I was, we meet every first Saturday of the month with the creatives, and the story is the same. The story is the same. Frustrations. People are frustrated. There's pressure. There's pressure from society for you to live in a certain way. You're supposed to be, you know, you're like the mirror when kioo cha jamii. Yeah. And you know, everyone like looks at you. You see, when you're under the radar of so many people, you can't even live your life. Unajua unaingia supermarket, you're just going to buy salt, but you find yourself buying something that you didn't go, because you are just... You have a full cart. Yes, you have a full cart. And that's what I'm trying to tell musicians. You don't have to... That's the mindful sip is... Because at the end of the day, it narrows down to your mental health. When you're alone, you're the one who's going to go to hospital, you're the one who's going to go to therapy, you're the one who's... You're alone. So, mindful sip... I think also peer artists have so many stories to tell, but they don't have... a channel, and no one feels like them. You see, no one feels the pain or the cause. Even me, if I explain to, let's say, my mom, let's say my uncle, he's not a creative. Yeah. He won't understand where I'm coming from. Yeah. So mindful sip, I'm like, somebody, and I hear those stories, I'm like, I feel you. I can relate. Yeah, I can totally relate. And you see, sometimes also talking is therapy. When somebody like airs out whatever he's feeling, or whatever he feels, because I've had people talk, because I don't necessarily talk to those people who have healed, because najua this is a journey. I also call myself I'm in recovery, because hata mtu anakanga 15 years and you still go back. You can even go 20 years and still relapse. So creatives are very frustrated, and when I speak about creatives, I'm speaking even sports personalities, even journalists and everyone, because this is the creative industry. Yeah. For like people in sports, like even footballers, I can say they probably like to be in the winning team. So when probably your team starts losing and does what, and you know the society is you're under pressure already now. Yeah. People are like, hey, so it gets to you, you don't know, because you think like it's a whole team, but when you're back, this guy is like, hey, am I failing? Am I failing society? Yeah. Am I failing myself? Like all of a sudden, there's this big responsibility. There's big responsibility, yes. And there's this question that everyone asks you, like an actor or even if you're a musician. Squeeze squani kwa TV, squeeze kwani, squeeze kuliendaje, ama alisota. Yeah, maisha kuliendaje. And people even add on some other things that are not. Do you feel like there's a camaraderie in the misery, yes, you know, of others, especially in the creative industry? Yes. It's like when now you're not there, it's like, what happened to? Look at what happened to. Yes. So and so you feel like there's a camaraderie there. There is. In that. There is for sure. There is for sure. Now looking back, you know, when you're there, you don't read it as such. But when you're out now, you look at it. When you look back, there's so much camaraderie, because. And I wouldn't want to mention the names. Yeah. But I know of people who even lost their lives, and they wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been the same. I mean, had we taken the knee before, what is it called? Action, or probably been there. Yeah, intervention. Intervention. It wouldn't have ended up the way it ended. Yeah. So yeah, for creatives, I think there's so much under pressure, and that's why it's like we have society that waits for, yes, the worst and, yeah, almost the demise. And unfortunately, it's going to be like that. And it's documented. You know, one of the things that we saw is this unfortunate situation. Maybe you can speak more about it because of time. This young lady, a creative, very empowering. You know how she was in your group. Yeah. And she had positive words. Yes. She was always saying she's doing this and that, like in the mental health space. And then she took her own life, right? So what happens when you're in a space where you're struggling, doing your best to be better, and then you're also encouraging others in different workshops, but then, you know. So I think I think for her, it was so unfortunate, because she's like been in everywhere, all the social media outlets, all the TV stations, everywhere. You can also tell us her name and how.
You can also tell us. Yeah, because that
charity.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, there's charity. There's like for like in C12, our family, we've lost like since it was started in 2020. We've lost like 4 to suicide, 4 or 5 people.
Wow.
So there are many. This is charity is recent. Yeah. So Charity took her life, and it was so unfortunate because she was everywhere. But I tend to think, yeah, it starts with self-love, because now you forget about yourself. You're there probably making so many people, you know, you're making a difference because she changes so many people's lives. But you see now, deep inside, I think there's like an episode where you feel like, I'm not enough. That's how I think mental health, it doesn't, you might feel like you're enough when you're on TV, but when the lights dim and you're on your own, actually, I think it's still a mystery, because there's this guy, this DJ. Was it a DJ who he was called Switch or somebody? This DJ from the US. This other.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and he was very bubbly. You would see him dance. The
one whose wife is a dancer.
Yes, the wife. Yeah. So you wouldn't understand what happens. You see, you're like, this is a very bubbly person in life, changes people's lives, and how they talk and how they even bring themselves up. You know, it's somebody who's very eloquent, somebody who has confidence, somebody who can, when he speaks, people listen. But so that's the same thing with our people. These ones who like died, took their own lives. It is very, very, very unfortunate that when they are like on their own, you see now you cannot guard somebody like for the rest of their lives. So if somebody decides to take their own life, it narrows down to, because so many people try blaming yourself. You can start blaming yourself, or maybe we didn't listen to her, or maybe we didn't. But sometimes it's just an episode of just being you feel misunderstood probably. And
is also the issue of you cannot forgive yourself.
Yes.
You know, because of everything. Like you said, there's a lot that you did while in addiction, and you look back on it, and there's nothing that you can say. You know, you took out from that time. You know,
but you see, no, that is another thing, because you did so many things at that time. So you forgiving yourself, you might forgive yourself for this one, and then you just remember another one like a week from now. Then it starts again. It's a whole new. You see now, you go back to the drawing board now. Unaanza tena mwanzo. Then now you think you're done. Then like on 31st December you remember, wait, this 31st December 2013. Wow, how do I now forgive myself from this one? Now you start again. So I think it's very difficult, because it's a day to day, and without proper therapy, because I can't say people even who do go to therapy still take their own lives. I just think it's for you and for the society that you're living in to just keep on assuring and you need the addict or somebody who's come out or somebody who has a mental health. You just do your part. You just be nice. Just tell them this has not gone well.
I see.
So I don't think there's a formula as such. But
I don't think there can be a formula.
Yeah, I don't think there's a formula.
No, I don't think. It's a very intricate, you know, matter. But Peter, you're having a concert, because we need to wind up now. Yeah, so as you're winding up, you can tell us about the concert and what it aims to do and when it will be. Okay.
So yeah, we have a concert. I'm so excited about it, by the way. It's called the Mind Dependence. Mind Independence is just a play of words, the mind and how the mind should be independent. We also played, the tagline is pure contentment. Pure contentment meaning that you can produce content without using substance. The way some of us used to do it. By the way, if you're a creative, you don't need any substance to become creative. So that's why you're saying pure contentment. So the show is on December 15th. At Eugenia Park. Eugenia Park is in Kenyatta Road, towards Riru there. It's going to be Peter Bumba, me, myself, I'm going to be performing my new jams. There's going to be those old jams, also Chongaviazi and stuff. There's going to be Jimwat, there's going to be Jimwat of under 18. Jimwat is also a recovering addict also. We're also in the group. There's going to be G-Flow. G-Flow is also a champion for addiction. There's going to be Moji Morgan, there's going to be Syke Shiko, there's going to be Joe Okabi. and other artists from the group C12 now. There's Niskino, there's Pochmo, there's so many artists from there, Kadustari, and so it's going to be a very big concert, and we're going to launch our song that's called Rise Again. Rise Again is a song that is giving hope to people, especially creatives who probably thought they'd lost it all. So it's going to be, we're going to perform it for the first time, and it's going to be very awesome. We're going to be performing using a band and an orchestra, so it's going to be, so it's purposed to be there. It's going to be a family show, and it's going to be on the December 15th. Tickets are out on WW Kenya Bars, and also on the socials. My socials, if you follow me, if you follow My Independence.
Yes, we need to wind up. Yeah.
Okay.
Very quickly, Peter.
So you can follow me on my handles.
Okay. It is at?
At Peter Boomba.
All right.
And at Mindful Sip, and there's also at My Independence 2024.
All right. Thank you, Peter, for coming.
Thank you
we
for
appreciate
having
you
me.
for being brave, telling your story. Congratulations on the 5 years of sobriety. Thank you so much for watching Morning Vibe. My name is Remmy Majala. We'll see you again tomorrow.